All right, guys, you're welcome to this week's episode of Views from the Stand, where the experts take a stand on all of the views that are going out in the beautiful world of sports. The international break have come and gone. Lee Castle has done his job and he's done it incredibly well. 6 games, one loss, and 5 victories. Mauricio Pochettino has done enough to convince Alexi Lalas and some of the Americans' top shot that they have hope of winning the World Cup, if not in 2026, but sometime very soon. And, I laugh at Alexi Lalas saying that, but then Americans are Americans. They're arrogant for a living. Okay. Arrogance is their thing. And African teams cannot even dream of winning the World Cup, but Americans are saying they are going to win the World Cup. That's not a problem. It's not their fault. If Ghana were to be putting their hearts together and Nigeria is also pulling their weights the way we're supposed to be pulling our weights, we won't be, having this conversation about America wanting to win the World Cup. If Mario tells me Germany is going to win the World Cup, we have no right to argue because they are Germany. They have won the World Cup many times, and they have some. They can even take one World Cup, break it into pieces, and share it among the 54 countries in Africa. They will still have World Cup trophies in Germany. Italians can say the same thing. Brazilians can say the same thing. The English people, I don't know if that thing they won was a World Cup. It was just a pendant for election. So I don't know if that's a World Cup. But you guys need to take up the mantle and let me, jump out and then I'll be back in a jiffy. So Mario, Bobby, Kobe, and Habib, do the talking. Introduce yourself to each other.
I can start as the white man in the black ground. My name is Mario, founder of Result Sports, working in sports for the last 15 years, focusing on digital conversation, digital transformation a lot, but have been playing in the second division in German Bundesliga, are very close to the European leagues. Bobby and Habib know me quite well, shooting from the hip sometimes, and don't be afraid.
Okay, I'll go next. Bobby Ukaigwe, Nigerian, of course. Based in the UK, London to be precise. Manchester United fan, sports lover. Yeah, I love everything sports. Though more inclined to football, and I'm a diehard Manchester United fan. Been supporting United since 1995. So yeah, it's in the blood. Yeah, that's me.
And Kobe?
Oh, Marcus Boafo, lawyer in both Ghana and the Gambia. But I'm in Ghana now practicing. A sports lover too. Football, NFL, basketball, tennis, you name it. I love Chelsea and I hate everything Ayo hates. So my you and all that, I'm against it, basically.
Wow, it's gonna be fun. Can see the
I
feast
can
coming
go
out.
next now. Okay, my name is Habib. I'm a PhD student in Indiana University. I love sports. I've been a big fan of sports. I love sport commentary. I love sport analysis. When during my undergrad in Lagos State University, I was also a sport presenter. And yeah, I just like doing this. This is fun for me.
Somebody asked me the other day that how did you pick your team? How did you get such a soft-spoken young man to be on your team? And I said, okay, once upon a time I interviewed him and I felt like he was very, very brilliant. And that's the reason why. And then somebody else again asked me, how did you manage to get somebody like Mario Leo? Like, his guy is too advanced, he's too brilliant, he's too sophisticated. They check him out online and he's into so many things. How did you get him? I said, well, he's a mutual friend called Sammy Wojia, who's no longer my friend, but fantastic guy. One of the best sports presenter in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, based in Port Harcourt, that hooked us up. And since then, we've been like family. For Bobby, thanks to YouTube. YouTube is a chef giver. He makes the best comment on my platform, and I think like this guy is a guy that I want to work with. And since then, we've been like family. For Bob, Kobe or Marcus, before the barrister, the lamenting barrister, Habib just was the gift provider and we're having fun. But now let's do a little bit of toast. Mario, do you know Judge Weah? Your mic is muted.
Of course I do. Do you want the political Judge Weah?
No. I'm not interested in the political. I don't like the political Judge Weah. He couldn't build one single stadium. So for that, I don't like him. But I know I love the footballer. The man, Mr. George, as Thierry Henry calls him. Do you also know Samuel Eto'o, not the FA president, the footballer?
Yeah.
So, between George Weah and Samuel Eto'o, you have only one slot in your team to pick a striker, a number 9. Samuel Eto'o or George Weah? Where do you go?
I personally would go for Samuel Eto'o because of the pace and because of the clinical finish. George Weah was more physical. He robbed around 3 defenders brilliantly to watch. Great technique as well. But for my playing style, because I like fast attacking football, I need Samuel Eto'o in my team.
Before, let me come to you, Marcus. George Weah, Samuel Eto'o. Who would you pick and what are your reasons?
Samuel Eto'o.
Why?
I mean, apart from the bias that he also, wore the Chelsea shirt, he was lovely. He took, I think the game to the next level, even though George Weah has won the Ballon d'Or before. But like my brother Mario said, I think if you wanted someone to get it done on the biggest stage, I think Eto'o will get me the goal I need to win the match.
Habib, I come to you on this one.
Well, Eto'o is the greatest African player to have ever played football. I think his achievement speaks for himself. He has won Olympics gold. He has won African Nations Cup. He won treble. I think he's the only player to have won treble back-to-back. First in Barcelona, the 2009 season, then with Inter Milan in 2010 season. I don't think there's anything Samuel Eto'o has not achieved. So I think it's like, and I quite feel like some of his achievements have been underplayed, probably because he's from a francophone country. He's just the greatest African to have ever played the game.
Now let's go to the senior son of the house who always wants to be the black sheep of the family, who wants to take things his own direction. Bobby,
Yeah.
who do you pick in your team now?
Yeah, in their prime, I will pick George Weah.
Why?
Why will I pick George Weah?
Yeah.
Sheer power, strength, skill, technique, ability to run with the ball, take on defenders.
What did that produce?
What did that produce?
Yeah.
What did it produce?
Yeah.
The record starts.
What record? What record exactly?
You asked me in his prime, in
Yeah,
their prime,
in his
right?
prime. What is the record? The record in their prime.
What's the record in their prime? Who was the top goal scorer in the Champions League in that particular year? It was George Weah.
How many goals?
7 goals.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, 7 goals. That we're talking about in.
Did he win the Champions League?
He doesn't need to. Did he win the Champions League? He didn't win the Champions League.
Okay. I'm just asking. Yeah? I don't know.
Yeah. Because
was it the top goal scorer? Was it the top goal scorer in Italy?
Was he the top goal scorer in Italy?
Was he ever the top goal scorer in Italy?
Wait. We said in his prime.
In his prime. In his prime in France.
He joined
in the Farmers
AC
League.
Milan
In the Farmers League.
Summer.
Was he ever the top goal scorer in the Farmers League?
Was he the top goal scorer in the Farmers League?
Yes.
Is the French league the Farmers League?
No, which league the Farmers League before? No, it's MPFL.
I don't know. No. If there's a notion people say the French league is the Farmers League. I'm not one of those people who says the French league is the Farmers League. Because the French league is the Farmers League. The EPL is the Farmers League.
Okay, let me rephrase. Did he win the top goal scorer in the French league?
When are we talking about?
Anytime. Did he win it anytime?
I'm talking about the year in his prime, the year he won the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, the year he won the Ballon d'Or, the 1995.
He doesn't need to win. He doesn't need to.
His prime was just that 1 year.
Let me give you an example.
So you're telling me that George Weah's prime is 1 year.
When Ronaldo came second in the Ballon d'Or race, was he the top goal scorer in the Premier League? He was not.
He won the league
Somebody
title.
was the top goal scorer in the Premier League. That person was not in the top 3.
Okay, so my point here, listen, my point here is I don't have anything against George Weah. I grew up in the George Weah era. I love George Weah. George Weah is the go-to man. But you see, George Weah reminds me of that era in our childhood in Africa where the guy who went to primary school is the only guy in the community that reads the letters that comes from anywhere, from government, from abroad. But not sooner than later, somebody now goes to secondary school. And then that power that he has to read letters moves away. We even did a movie called Isheku for that reason, to the guy who was in secondary school. And before you know it, pretty soon that bragging right of secondary school leaver not also least because quite a lot of other people have gone to university. I am not saying that George Weah, I can't even say it. It's a taboo for me to say that George Weah is not a great player. But I'm saying that prime Samuel Eto'o, George Weah cannot lace his boots. Because when we talk about prime George Weah, we always talk about 95 when he won the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or football was asleep in 1995, whether you agree. Name 3 or 4 other players that were hot in 1995. Any of the prime Samuel Eto'o, there were players that were on fire. In 1995, this is not, I was in the university. In 1995, I got out of secondary school, so I know. 1995 was the COVID of football. That there was no football, nothing happened. The biggest football that was played was the Intercontinental Cup, Nigeria versus Uzbekistan. That's how bad football was in 1995. Globally, there was no major football event. There was also, the Champions League was drab in 1995. Now, my point, this is my point. But Samuel Eto'o conquered the Spanish La Liga. In an era where you have Ronaldinho, you have all of these other players, he stood that. Messi came, he was the top goal scorer. Went to Italy, he won the treble, the same Italy that George Opng went. So my point is that at some point, George Weah in his prime was that guy who was in primary school reading all the letters. Then Samuel Eto'o came, not only go to secondary school, but he had a PhD like Habib. You may agree, you may disagree, but that's my position. So, George Weah, take a back seat where Samuel Eto'o is talking. Because, I mean, I don't even want to talk about national team honors because they say, oh, this one played for a deadbeat team, and then the other one played for a superpower team in Africa. Nations Cup winning, Olympic winning, everything. It's not coincidence that everywhere he goes, he wins, okay? So, and anytime we mention Samuel Eto'o, now let's put at the goal scoring. Samuel Eto'o in a league like the La Liga won the Pichinchi. So it's not a joke that you can win the Pichinchi there. And then he was top goal scorer in the Coppa Italia 2010-2011. UEFA Forward of the Year 2006. All of those things that you will give to George Weah. A striker who is the top assist provider in 2005-2006 season. All of these are the things that is won. I don't want to bring individual honors, but one of the things that stand out for me is the cumulative numbers. George Opong in 478 games scored 193 goals. For a striker that people always claim that is scoring goals like goals are going out of water, that's not a good number. The highest numbers is turned out in a single season was 23 goals in 47 games and another 23 goals in 45 games. That's in 2 seasons, one for Monaco, one for Paris Saint-Germain. Other than that, he never even hit up to 20 goals in any other time of his career. The 1995 that we're talking about, in 35 games, he scored 15 goals. That's Bukayo Saka standard. That's Bukayo Saka standard. This is what we call his prime. 35 games, 15 goals. Bukayo Saka, not even Cole Palmer standard.
No. You can't compare that era and now. Because in that era, if you score 20 goals, once you score 20 goals, you're seen as a top striker.
20.
Yes, 20
and
goals.
Above,
then.
Only twice. One for Monaco in 1991-92 season and one for Paris Saint-Germain 92-93 season. The other was 14, 18, 15, 16, 13, 9, 5. That is the matter. Look at Samuel Eto'o for a minute. And let's have this conversation. In his career, he did 22, 29, 34, 36, 37. Are you joking right now? 21, 20. These are the numbers. This is the fact. So whether you look at it from anywhere, this guy had played George Opong anyhow. But I understand that we are hanging on to the only player from Africa who's won the FIFA Ballon d'Or, the European Footballer of the Year, and the African Footballer of the Year. So that makes him a great player. But Samuel Eto'o,
the World Footballer of the Year.
Man, that's the Ballon d'Or now.
No, he won the World Footballer of the Year, the Ballon d'Or.
It's the Ballon d'Or. There was no 2 award at the time. In 1995, it was just 1. It was just Ballon d'Or. Bros, calm down. Be coming down. I know you would even pack shit and give George Weah and say he's a golden flake, but calm down. Be coming down. That's the only trophy that was available at the time. Having said that, let's come. This weekend, there's going to be plenty of games, and they are tricky. Tomorrow, Chelsea travels to Leicester City. Before, I'm coming to you with this. There are some games today. Bayern Munich will play against Augsburg. I'll circle around to Mario on that one. Paris Saint-Germain are playing Toulouse. Monaco, Brest are going to squeeze some Brest in this game and get some massage. But tomorrow, there are some tricky games in the EPL. Chelsea, with Enzo Maresca, former Leicester City coach, traveled to Leicester. Arsenal are hosting in form evangelistic maniacalism. What is it called? Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, same of the same. But if you go down a bit, Manchester City with a new contract for Pep Guardiola is hosting Tottenham Hotspur. Bafo, what's your expectation for Leicester City Chelsea? So one-way traffic, or this is where they would be beaten? I'm talking about Chelsea and Maresca.
Chelsea should win this game, but I think we should kill this game. Personally, I mean, we are getting too comfortable with what Maresca is doing because, I mean, for the past few years, we've been, shaking with the new ownership and all that. But in all honesty, I think at the latter part of the last season, Pochettino took about that stability and will continue. I just think we are using that new team, new style, and buying time because I'm not happy with where we are, to be honest. I think we should have killed more games and won more points because we are being wasteful and the defense is leaky.
No, when you say you're not happy with where you are, I need to understand. I agree that the defense is leaky. They've considered 13 goals, but that's the same number of goals that Man City have considered. Arsenal have considered 12. So when you say the defense is leaky, you're not happy with where they are. Were you expecting them to be above Man City and Liverpool based on the way they have also played and compared to what you've done last season?
Based on the way Liverpool and City, and Liverpool is not top. In fact, let's use City. Based on the way City has played this season, we shouldn't be happy and say City has also considered 13 goals or so because City we know is off. City on top would have been. Wait, I'm saying that some of these goals that we are conceding are very, very needless. And we think it's all right because we have an interesting attack that should even be firing more. But I think we are being too wasteful and allowing a lot of things. We have to get the balance and we have to be clinical. We are there, but I think we are just 2 points from 9 or something. And the gap is going because we are comfortable because we are 10. We've not been in that position for a while. Let Liverpool, let City go. But look at the games we've been drawing or the games we've been losing. First game of the season against Man City, no problem. But with the Liverpool game, we could have done something. Look at the second goal. They go ahead, we come back into the game, all of a sudden. What pain me was, we almost lost against Manchester United, honest. At the time that was, I don't know, they were down, they were wounded, even though there was a bit motivation, the foot was sad. We should have had that game. So I think we are just settling for, okay, we'll get a point, they would concede. The defense, I don't know what it's doing. But from what we are showing them, from what we are playing, and what it's showing we should have more points than we have. So they should not just win the game, they should kill the game. That's
okay, if you say so. Having said that, let me come to Bobby here. Ipswich Town is the team that Manchester United are playing on Sunday. Seemed like the easiest way to bed in the 3-4-3 Ruben Amorim system. Is there a chink in the armor? Is there a possibility that Ipswich Town, the Tractors, might ruin the party? Is there anything you're seeing, even though you're sitting in the high tower in London, is there anything you're seeing on the north side of England that says, well, the cat is not out of the bag completely, we cannot just rest on our laurels?
Of course, it's a chance. It's a chance we can draw. It's a chance we can lose. It's Amorim's first game. How many training sessions has he had? Has he had the full complement of his players? No. Some players came back yesterday, especially those who played in South America on Wednesday. So that might have a factor, and those are key players. And it's still the same players anyway. So there is a chance, but I think we'll get the results. But I don't think much to be read into the game because basically the main thing I want to see in the game, I want to see an idea. I want to see his principles. I want to see character. I want to see a system. I want to see a style of play, though it might not be as effective as we want it to be because it's the first game. But we want to see that idea. And he said that is what we are going to see. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And hopefully we get the result we deserve or we need.
Habib, I bounce back to you on this one. Liverpool going away to Southampton is top versus bottom in the Premier League. As a Man United fan, are you pinching yourself and say Liverpool are running away with the title, or you think that there is somewhere where this would happen? And then listening to Bobby, seems like he's already cooking up the excuse that will come. Well, some players didn't come back on time. Then, he's not had enough time. The Tractors, crash things. That's the excuse that they will make. Habib, let me hear you.
For me, I think it's too early to be, decided on which team is favorite at this stage of the season. I still think we need to give them time, probably till December or January, and still see if they've had like a run of fixtures. I still feel like Liverpool are doing quite well, but I don't think they've met like they've played like enough big games for me to be convinced that they are going to run away with the title. And we also know that Manchester City, they peak within the spring. They go on this run of form where they win lots of matches and they can spring that result. Have Liverpool been faced with that kind of adversity yet? Don't know. How can Liverpool overcome such adversity if they are hit with injuries? We don't know how they respond in such situation. But one thing is clear. I think they are defending better. They're actually conserving more energy compared to when Klopp was in charge.
True.
They don't need to exert too much energy in pressing. They are more measured in their control, in their possession, and they pick and choose their moments, which is quite impressive for me. But I still feel like this talk of the title, if they are winning the title, is too early. Even as a Manchester United fan, I don't want them to win the title because they are bitter rivals. But yeah, Manchester City winning 5 Premier League straight, I don't think it's too good for the league.
But it's better than Liverpool winning.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Of course. I would rather let Man City win 5 times than Liverpool win.
Man City win like 5 league titles.
Oh my God. Kobe, are you hearing these guys speak? Oh,
United fans are always cry baby, so you just watch them.
Oh my God, I can't believe that they just said that. But let's move to Mario. Mario, I've got quite a lot of questions for you. Some MPFF fans wrote me some long manifesto that I told them I don't have answer to this. I'm going to come to you. And if you've been following me on Twitter, I've been, trying my best to do some research work and show up what content creators really mean, the value that they add to the sports and all that. But let me start with Borussia Dortmund. Last season, they were in the finals of the Champions League. This season, they've not really started, like a swashbuckling team. 10 games played so far in the league. They seem to have this yo-yo, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, because they've lost 4 times already this season, drawn 1 and won 5 out of 10. They scored 18, conceded 18. What is wrong with Borussia Dortmund all of a sudden? I mean, I expect more than this from them. Freiburg and Union Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt, all those teams are above them. I can understand Bayern, RB Leipzig, and Bayer Leverkusen. But, man, look at the teams that are above them. What's going on with Borussia Dortmund, the Yellow Submarine or the Yellow Wall? Sorry.
It's supposed to be the yellow wall, but there is no wall at the moment. Yeah, the wall got lots of bumps and holes in it. New coach. Edin Terzic left after the Champions League final. Nuri Sahin, first time responsible in the German Bundesliga. Then obviously 2 cornerstones or backbones left. There are Mats Hummels, Marco Reus, full identity. Fans have got nobody to cheer on really work on performance. And brought in Waldemar Anton, Sergei Guirassy, and a few others, Sebastian Meyer. Thought they would fill up the bench to bring up from the bench players who kind of challenged the first team, but didn't find the first team, because Sergei Guirassy was injured at the beginning, missed kind of all of the preseason and everything. So there was no team hierarchy, no team ranking. And at home, when the fans in the yellow wall pushes them, they won all. They are top of the table on the home game statistics, and they are rock bottom of the table in the away statistics because somehow they carry a 100-kilo backpack when they travel away. They just managed to get 1 draw out of 5 games and lost 4 on the road. So that's the big challenge of Borussia Dortmund. So this weekend, obviously, we expect a severe home win because they face above SC Freiburg, but they play at home. So I think it's going to be a 3-1, 4-1 victory for Dortmund.
All right. Having said that, the biggest question everybody's been asking me since we talked about social media and football is how does a club make money? How does, your YouTube numbers or your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok numbers, how does it translate to Naira and Kobo if, for instance, an MPFL club wants to invest in that area? Or is just grow the number for bragging rights sake? Because St. Pauli just said they are going out of Twitter. If it's really making money for them, why are they going out of Twitter? So how does social media make you make money? What is the process to make money from it?
First of all, you have to do a very good community management. Then obviously on social media, as in everything in the digital world, you can measure, track every single click of the user. So at the moment you're selling LED boards or you're selling signboards in the stadiums and you hope that many people look at them. This is a vanity number for me. In digital, you can measure every single click, and it's very, very interesting for brands, for products to be visible, and especially knowing which audience clicked their brand and their product. So that's how you do it. So first of all, you start to do good community management. When you have a good community management, your community is growing. NPFL clubs, unfortunately, don't do great community management because they send out a lot of information, but they don't engage with the audience. Yeah, there is no back comment. There's nothing out there. Is kind of really focusing on the match day. There is no great content throughout the weekdays, apart from some training photos. But if you have 52 weeks and 52 weeks of training photos, it's kind of boring. So that's a huge difference, obviously, with all the European leagues. Yeah, first of all, the communications department has been identified as being a very strategic department because obviously they know how to calm the audiences. They know how to manage the audience, and they also know what the audience like to consume as content. So obviously you have to get a very, very strong content planning in place. Yeah, diverse. Yeah, make yourself independent from the results on the pitch. The results on the pitch just catapult or peak your performance. Yeah, you get faster to the goals and the objectives, but ultimately you need to have a strategy. What do you want to achieve and what platform you want to achieve? St. Pauli has not left Twitter. Their profile is still visible. They just decided to kind of abandon Twitter for a time being because in Germany, obviously, sport, or everywhere, we always pretend that sport is not political. But when you look into the English press release of St. Pauli, everything stated in there why they depart or abandon the platform for a period of time is politically reasoned. Yeah, Elon Musk takes the government role. It's very racist. It's very discriminative. It's very manipulative. It can impact the German elections in January or respectively in February. And that's why we abandoned from it. And I said, well, since when is St. Pauli becoming a political party wanting to win the chancellor of Germany? So the same obviously happened just on Monday at the General Assembly of Werder Bremen, where the Werder Bremen kind of announced that they will leave, they will abandon X as well. And they got great one-time applause. But obviously it's a very, very negative impact for the Bundesliga, because there are many countries around the world where X is in the top 2 of the platforms or the top 3 of the platforms, and you lose now the reach to the audiences. You don't get to the audience attention anymore, and the audience don't care if St. Pauli is there or not, or if Werder Bremen is there or not. Yeah, because if you're not there, you don't know what is discussed about you, whether you are discriminated and everything. You have to manage it, and that's why social media is not about communication. Social media is about strategy. It's about psychology. It's about a red line of what you want to achieve. And obviously, when you have identified the strategy and you want to monetize social media, then obviously you have to build a plan. And the plan is to establish a catalog of opportunities which you can sell to partners and sponsors. And if you look into the Premier League teams this weekend, for example, and you look on X and you see the starting lineups, 16 out of 20 teams have branded partners or products or partners on the team lineups, because obviously all the fans discuss why is this player playing, why is this player not playing. So it's a very, very engaging piece of content, and it's therefore on the forefront of why sponsors want to be present.
Wow. Let's jump away from that. And I think that will be biting this piece on every episode because it doesn't end. Let's swim into Italy. When the season started, Napoli are in all sort of mess, transfer talk with Victor Osimhen leaving, Antonio Conte coming. They didn't do their transfer business on time. We don't know what's going to happen. But Napoli are still top. 12 games played, 8 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. One in the first game of the season and the one recently against Atalanta. And then after that, they got a draw against Inter, which for me, I think it's a perfect result. 1-1 against Inter away from home is always a good result. And then you have Atalanta in second. You have Fiorentina third, Inter fourth. Then you have Lazio in fifth. Juventus, AC Milan, sixth and seventh. Even though Juventus have not lost this season, but they've won 6 and drawn 6. What can you make of this season's Italian league? It's not going according to script.
You asking me or?
Yes. I'm starting with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Italian league, obviously, we see the Conte effect. Antonio Conte knows that he can, in very short time, can fix the team hierarchy. And once the team got a hierarchy and everybody knows their role and responsibility, he can focus on the playing style. And obviously, Antonio Conte is a very experienced manager. He knows that he got the playing styles. He didn't change it a lot. He changed jigsaws on it. Yeah, so Victor Osimhen left, a very physical, fast forward who is a finisher. He replaced it with Romelu Lukaku, a physical, fast forward, a clinical finisher. So there's no huge change in style of play. And obviously, because he didn't change the style of play, everybody knows the formations, everybody knows their role. He managed the hierarchy. He found a great starting 11, and that's why he started the season very, very well. The short-term Conte impact. Obviously, recent games and recent weeks, obviously, the Conte effect and the Conte playing style is easy to be decrypted, and it's easy to be kind of applied from the opponent measurements that they can kind of counter resist the Napoli attack, and that's what the opponents have. And Atalanta has a great technical team, beat Napoli convincingly. Inter has done so as well. So. And that's why now the race in Serie A is quite open again, because obviously AC Milan has found their form. And for Napoli, it's the most challenging game this weekend with AS Roma, with Claudio Ranieri now fixing AS Roma in the short term. And I look forward actually to that match. And I think that Napoli won't win the game, because obviously we have an even more experienced Claudio Ranieri who boosts the confidence of the players, because every player at AS Roma can play football, can play very good football. Just that they haven't played as a team, they haven't acted as a team, and obviously lost all confidence by the results of the weeks. And that's why they sit in 11th or 12th at this moment in time. But Claudio Ranieri is also a short-term fixer, talks to the players, give the players the confidence back. And if Roma takes an early lead, I don't think that Napoli can win this weekend.
All right, let me bounce you with Bobby. Bobby, Paris Saint-Germain are a very unique team this season. In the French Ligue 1, 11 games played, 9 wins, 2 draws, no defeat yet. They've scored 33 goals, conceded 10. But in the Champions League, they're a different proposition. Anybody can beat them. I mean, when you lose Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, obviously that's a big deal, right? But what is it about Paris Saint-Germain that they can take their form from the league to Europe? Because next week, back to Europe again.
Why aren't they doing well in Europe? I think it's more like it's a mental thing, both the manpower. They don't really have the experienced kind of players, those top experienced players anymore. It's more like young players, blooming players, young blood. So I think they're not adept to the European game at the moment, and mentally they are not in it. It's more like they are focused on the league. When it comes to the league, they're a different animal than what you get in the Champions League. So I think this particular season will not be. It won't be as rosy as it has been for some time. They might not go far. I think their aim now is to build from the league, get a footing in the league, then take that form into the next Champions League of next season. They might make it out of the group. But they won't go far.
All right, let me wrap the show up today with Habib. Habib, you are what on the street man. Whether we like it or not, in 2 years' time, the World Cup is going to be hosted in America. Alexi Lalas on my show this morning was saying that on TNT or ESPN that they are building a team that will win the World Cup, if not in 2026, but someday in the future. Why are you laughing? Please. Amongst your schoolmates, amongst your friends, the ones that know about soccer, let's not talk football now, soccer. How optimistic are they? The word on the street, you have like 50 seconds to answer this before the show runs up. Are they optimistic are the Americans?
Great answer. Their chances or the optimism of the average American, chances of winning is nearly impossible. Optimism of the average American, obviously the average American is arrogant, is proud, and it feels like they are entitled to win everything. Yeah, so the average American will feel like, yeah, we have a shot at this. We just need to invest our money They keep saying things like, we just need to put our resources into soccer and we'll be the best team in the world. Regardless of whether they have talent or not, that it's always funny.
Americans are rude.
So they say things like that, like, yeah, we just need to invest, we just need to get our acts right, and we'll be the best team in the world. To be frank, I don't think that's true.
All right, guys, we're going to be adding a new feature subsequently, Word on the Streets, and we'll get our man to ask people in America what they feel about their chances of winning the World Cup. But so far, thank you very much,